medically treated.
Yes.
And you had about 815 minors under 18 who had received, who had been treated as well. That's what I got for your 27.
That data of the 800 minus of the total of the people treated, medically treated, I think we were saying 50% are under 18.
Yeah, so the 800 is actually just here.
Yeah, just here.
It's not in here.
Okay, so you've got 50% of 5,400?
Yeah.
Of 2,000.
Okay, because you see, when you said medical ambulance intervention,
That's for all the medical emergencies, including sexual violence.
yeah.
But
so
out of this number,
2,700. Yeah, I got that. Now the thing is, this is here, all right?
Yes.
With
It is
MSF.
with MSF
Yes.
only.
But can you imagine what about other institutions? Like in Kayole on Friday, a man, a 16-year-old girl. I got news that a 16-year-old girl had been raped and found dead in her house. Now the father finds this girl and reports it. So my question straight away was, what happened after it was reported? Because I'm thinking, she's 16 years old, she's been found dead, the father has reported. What if it's the father who raped her and killed her? Okay? I mean, so I'm really following this case to try and find out exactly what happened with this young girl, because it's been haunting me, and I'm thinking, she was in her house, nobody else seems to know that a rape was going on, but the father just says he came home from work and he found her dead. So for me, it could be very well, but the thing is, if a husband and wife are in a house and the wife is dead, the first suspect is the husband. So I'm using this case to try and find out what is the level of engagement by the police. Does anyone really care to actually take that case and follow it and make sure that you get the answer till your file from open to close? What happens between open and close? So, I mean, look at her, beautiful little girl, 16, found dead.
If you can allow Cecilia to kind of highlight all the areas, including those challenges we are talking about, because for us what we see is we have this case. We normally say that if what we are able to provide as MSF is just one line of intervention for sexual violence. We are not able to reach the legal, because we are not a legal organization. We work with other partners. So please, maybe I think for you to get also a clear picture of also the challenges as you are raising it here.
So thank you for the opportunity to meet you.
And Cecilia, she's a medical team reference she's going on leave and she's taking over from her.
First of all, I think after having been here for around 10 years now, it's very key for everyone to know that we see 50% of our survivors are minors. So out of 2,700, around half of that is below 18, and half of that is below 10 years. And we have very many sad stories from up to, we've had a 9-month-old baby being raped by the father. And what we seem to see is that, also based on where we are located, this is a lover's love. So it starts within the families. When you hear that from our data, more than 50% of our survivors know the person who assaulted them, which means it's a family level. So it's a social problem.
Tell me, I need to ask you something, because you mentioned the 9 months baby. A few years ago, there was talk that a lot of minors, and there was a spate where a lot of young kids under 1 were being raped because there was this notion that it cures HIV. Is that still the case?
No.
No. Okay.
No, it's just it's a problem that stems from the fact that the mothers leave them just around, and then they have so many people who are taking drugs, and they have all these children without anyone to take care of them. So it's just a crime of opportunity.
But the 9-month baby raped by the father. So, 2 things that interest me. Why? Was he drunk? Why did he do it? Do we get those answers? Do we know why he did it? Was he arrested? Is he serving time in jail? Or do we not know? Is he still out? Because I was following up a case of a Somali girl, and I think the mother was the second wife of this man, and he kept abusing this mentally challenged girl. and every time they would take the society, the women, the health workers who would work, or the community-based workers who would work, they would arrest this man, and every time they would arrest him, he would be released because the mother of this girl would come and say, oh, she's mad. But then the thing is, he infected her with HIV. When they did the examination, she was HIV positive. So they realized that, you know what, he's HIV positive, she's HIV positive. The mother was actually safeguarding her provider, you know, her economic...
The problem of sexual violence is part of a general trend of violence, especially, for example, in conflicts and also in situation of urban violence as well. That's why there's so many reasons. I mean, first of all, the social ties are not as strong as in the normal situation. That's why we say, like, this type of violence is undocumented, and the consequences are not documented as well. Unfortunately, we don't have the tools, and also it's beyond our means to look for the reasons of why this rape or that rape gets happened. And unfortunately, we cannot follow all of it because it's meant to be for someone else. But we document the incident itself. We document the perpetrator, like what the, according to the.
Okay. So we've gotten down from 2,789 cases, of which 50% were under 18, and of which 50% of that were under 10.
Yes.
Okay, and what percentage is family members?
What this is that it's non-perpetrators and 54% of all our.
Okay, so
which is very
50%.
often also neighbors. So it's very mostly family members and very often neighbors.
Neighbors, okay. All right, continue. Sorry, I'd like to introduce Charity. Charity, the Women Reps Office has a fund, an affirmative action fund, which has a portion for SGBV, for awareness, for assistance, for support. And then we have a portion for empowerment, and we also have made it one of the tasks of our office to ensure that we work with SGBV survivor networks. Like we have one who has a peanut factory, and we want to empower her with money to grow that so that they have money to run their support systems. And then we also have, of course, money that we can give for bursaries, because we realize that once a woman is raped, she's economically disempowered for a long, long period. And it could have to actually go towards helping them in terms of empowerment, support, education, training in terms of self-defense. Those are all areas that we want to look into. But we seem to be guided. You've been in the field longer than us, so that's why I'm here, so that when we do this, we do it right. Yeah.
Okay, so looking at the numbers, so how do we get the survivors to come to our clinic? 40% of the referrals, good to mention, are
areas where you've had the most rape. Like in Nairobi, if you say, okay, most of the victims are coming from Kayole, then I'd like to visit Kayole in Prompto and look at the gender desk, you know, the gender crimes desk or whatever. You know, I want to look at it and see where is it located in the police station? Is it conducive to coming to report? Are they equipped with the necessary stationery to take the report, etc., etc. And then, do they already know at that particular point, is there anything in that desk that guides them to come to you, or to come to, or to go to Wangu, or to go, you know, the step by step. This is, call this number and you'll be assisted. So that while she's there trying to report to the police, if he's insensitive, there's a poster there. And that's one thing that my office wants to do. My office wants to work with you to provide these poster boards in every police station in Nairobi that actually throws light on where you can go. Because now you're looking at a person who's already been raped. You're not looking at somebody who, you know, and so, you know, I want her to be able to get support in terms of legal aid, in terms of treatment, in terms of counseling. Yeah.
So I think you can solve the issue of the police. Then the other issue we face is that when you look at our data, of the total numbers I've just quoted, 10% fall under the category we call the vulnerable population. 6% of that are refugees. And as you know of now, the budget for the main actor for refugees, UNHCR, has been slashed, I think, up to 40%, if not less. So we have such dire survivors who need social support, medical support above what MSF is able to provide. We understand that now even the support from Nairobi Women's Gender Recovery Center in Kenyatta as a gender recovery center, all funded by the Jordan Foundation, is out. So when we have patients who we are not able to manage at a small facility, which is a level 2, then we have no higher level to take them.
When you say out, what do you mean?
Sorry?
What do you mean? Nairobi women and Kenyatta?
Nairobi Women and Kenyatta used to have a funding to provide free care for advanced treatment.
From Jordan Foundation. And now it's
out.
Why?
We have more clear reasons as to why.
Last year.
Yeah, last year.
So all they did is send out.
She was building a wellness center in.
I think there was a lot of.
I'll get in touch with her office.
All we have is that this is no longer a place we can refer for those complicated cases. If you send to Nairobi Women's, if it's
they need it paid.
they
Yes.
have to
Yes,
pay.
yes.
And naturally, we know if we are sending, even in case anyone from sexual violence or gender-based violence, and asking them, the bill will come into millions, and how is that
I mean,
possible?
I'm struggling with the bill of a young girl, 5 years old, having a reconstructive surgery, a fistula, and 300,000 already. And I mean, I'm just sitting there and I'm thinking, okay, I thought we had this unit. So I'll be investigating the two issues and then looking at how I can bring that as a motion in Parliament and see whether we can get some money from whichever ministry towards that. Yeah.
Then I guess the third challenge that the patients will be facing is that they will come in, we provide the medical and the psychological care, then we link them back to the police who initiates the investigation. So we have a twofold problem because we collect forensic evidence. As up to now, we will show you boxes going all the way 5-6 years. They've never been collected. We are
By
not
the police?
Sure. Yes.
So you don't know what happened with the cases?
We are not even sure what is the legal guidance in Kenya for how long to store these samples and how long they will still maintain the validity for the DNA sampling to be able to serve the patients.
Who would you be dealing with on that? Because forensics
The
is
police. The police are the ones who come.
Okay, so what I would like is, can I arrange a meeting with the DCI and with the IG Boynet so we can discuss that issue of your forensic evidence and whether it can be taken over and stored by government or, you know, the questions that you're asking. I think the best thing to do is to get the answers from the horse's mouth. And I've been actually engaging with IG Boynet through Wangu Kanja. I think remember what I said, we need to all work together so that we can achieve, we can win. The demand for service is so high that we can afford to work together and win together. And I don't want to have the situation where we're dealing with this one, that one. There's also the call center for the government. I'm also going to go there and have a look. So I'd love to get a report on your call center, all right, and what it is. I'd love just on the questions that you want to ask on your evidence. What period has it been? How many victims? And what percentage has actually been collected, if any? All right, so that I can engage the IG on what are we doing about this, okay? But you know, it's yeah.
It is even also very important to know because in these areas we have the OCPDs who are in charge of these police stations. It is good to engage them because when if you go to IG...
No, but there has to be a system.
Yes.
I think we need to understand what is the system, and then we understand, and then don't forget OCPDs also moved one left, right, center. So the question, what is the system that the government has to actually document and address, and then to see, as I said, you open a file, you have to close a file.
Yes.
Do we close a file or do we just lose a file?
And with the evidence, I see what happened.
Yeah, I think it's crucial that we stop to the top and then we get the guidance, then we can question the bottom, you know, because if we go to the bottom, we don't know. I would rather we have a meeting and I would try, we're supposed to be having a breakfast with the IG. And we were just looking for a donor, but maybe I'll get my office to fund the breakfast so that we can have it quickly enough. Yeah, so we'll fund the breakfast because we want to. Yeah, it will bring us some highlights. We'll try and see if we can actually fund that breakfast as part of our civic education to understand what is going on in that area with the police. Yeah, so we'll try and give you an answer in the next 1 week.
But she has to give you that.
Yeah, the report. Yeah, I'll give you my card, and then you can email me. But text me, and I'll also send you my Gmail. Works better than the Parliament mail. Yeah.
So I guess to sum it all, as we all agree, SGBV is a social problem, it's a medical problem, it's a legal problem. It's actually a multidisciplinary issue. So we can't expect, as MSF, we are very good with the medical aspect of it. And like you're saying, unless all the actors are coming on the table and discussing the issues as one, then you have this problem where we solve the medical, then everyone is grasping. Because if we talk about shelter, we can't talk shelter without the justice and the medical problems.
I think from our side also looking at the medical, because you have quite a lot of staff trained in the country, especially in this, some provisions, but what is very often missing is some links, some like parts of the chain to make it all
comprehensive.
You know, you mentioned something that you're training nurses because at that level you need a nurse. Okay, a nurse can handle it, unless of course it has some other issues that require surgical address. Tell me, we have this community-based health workers, right? And I know that government is considering putting them on payroll and paying them, right? In terms of being able to go door to door to educate people, remember we were talking about advocacy. Advocacy for prevention, I think would require us to somehow sensitize the community health workers on sexual violence, the extent of it, the you know, I don't know, is there a way that we can work with you to educate them on when they go door to door, what is the conversation on SGBV?
We're actually doing that in all the
We have a community.
Because right now we're working with Embakasi East-West, we are working with Makadara, we are working with Mathare, we are working with Kamukundi.
So you're working with the community health workers?
Yes.
So when you have your next session where you're briefing them, and then when they're going out, I would like to be there. I'd like to understand the conversation.
What may be a bit different is because we have a team, health promotion team, and they meet different in different settings, areas with the community health volunteers. So getting them all together.
No, I mean whichever area you're going to.
If
we don't have to get them all together. I mean, I understand Nairobi is massive. When you're having your next briefing, right, for them to be able to go out, I'd like to come and sit in. And I mean, my good days are Friday and Monday, and of course we're going on recess very soon. So we'll be about 2 weeks out of Parliament, so I'll have more time any day of the week. But I would love to do that if you're having one in the next 1 month, so that I can come in, sit through, and then walk with them as they go out. Yeah.
We can run that with the health promotion team.
Yes.
Even this morning they are already on the field.
I mean, I would love to go on the field with them, get my shoes and walk with them and see what they're doing and understand the conversations between the community and them and where are the gaps. Yeah, I'd love to do that.
What would the reason why it's important is because for sexual violence, we want survivors to come within 72 hours.
I know.
So it's important that community knows when this happens, this is what we need to do. And that survivors don't need to start looking for support and the medical treatment after it happens.
Tell me something, okay, excuse my ignorance. I know that if you're raped today, within 72 hours, you can be given...
You can be given the vaccination and the treatment.
It's really for the HIV prevention.
It's HIV and pregnancy.
And pregnancy.
And those are the two main ones. And you have to have it within 72 hours. Okay. Where do we get the vaccines? Are we getting them from cancer?
No. So one of the things is that, well, one of the gaps is really that in the hepatitis B vaccine is in the national protocol, but actually it's not being provided. It's not part of the package of it at an MOH level. We are providing it, but
the hepatitis B.
Yeah, but that's one of the. So when you talk about the medical, that's one of the issues that there's a theory, but then the different elements within that package come from different, like the ARTs for the HIV prevention. They're very well available because they come from the national HIV program. Yeah. For example, the STI drugs for now, it's in MOH facilities is a big issue because that comes from a county level cancer. So,
I mean, we've had a problem with drugs in Nairobi, but I think they've just resolved it.
So I think one of the things that when you look at being comprehensive is to ensure that there's like a package that is provided and to make sure that the different elements are there. And that's for the medical, that's good. And for now, that's I think a key element to kind of solve is to make sure.
So you import your own locally, because I've seen some donors actually some donors actually send the drugs through government, and then it's redistributed. For Mary Stopes, for instance, they have that kind of arrangement.
No, we support directly the facilities we support.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. So you don't have setbacks when it comes to, but then of course you're seeing gaps in county hospital stocks.
Because one of the aims of our program is really to support the county to implement a system that is sustainable and it's not depending on external actors. We're trying also we work with the labs to make sure that they're able to do, that they're trained, that they can do the investigation. So it's one of the aims of this project is really to give the support.
And you hope that one day you have an exit strategy.
Actually, that brings us to the exit strategy because we can't continue forever. And now with all the emergencies all around the world, we have to cut our budget as well. And actually our Kenya budget has been cut. And we can't continue with it.
So you kept the bad news for last.
we maneuver here and there to keep activities running. I don't think the SGBV program will be affected massively by these cuts. But the thing is, as Dr. Alexandra said, we really want the involvement from everyone, from the county, from the civil society organizations, from other partners, to come in and support these activities. Otherwise, there will be lots of gaps.
I hear you.
This is the problem.
By the way, you're talking to the converted. I feel that we need to take charge because these are our citizens,
Yes.
and I've had struggles in that area. And I think, I'm in the health committee, so that helps. And I will engage Senate when it comes to the county government, but I'm also in touch with the governor. And I think he'll probably most likely understand the need to ensure that the various county level hospitals are well equipped to deal with this issue, especially in the areas that we know are more prone to having rape.
And the thing with SGBV, so it's an acute situation, it's an emergency, but it's not a high, you don't need expensive drugs, you don't need it's not highly technical, so you can do a lot. Yeah, if you have some basics in place and systematically supplied, and you have staff, it's an additional training, but for medical staff, it's not a high level training. So it's an area where you can achieve a lot with a reasonable, limited...
Tell me, when we were going for civic education, there was one area that said they needed a clinic. Was it Pipeline? Which area had said? No, not in Sarajevo. There were 3 or 4 areas that said they really need a clinic. I think one of them was Pipeline, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there were 3 or 4 places that said that we don't have any clinics within our vicinity, and then Dandora were also closing one of the clinics. So what's happening is we've got these containers, these very well equipped 2-room containers. I think there's a clearance now to release them. So I'm going to be asking the governor to ensure that they go to the places where we really need to have a clinic, because the containers are they're very well equipped. And they could do a lot of service in that area as well. So I stand to be guided if there's an area that you're working where there's no facility in Nairobi and you feel that, wow, we could do with a clinic there, please do let me know. And then I'll also ask my team, because when we were going around, I think Pipeline mentioned that they have no facility, and I said I'll go and visit.
I think the good thing about SGBV, as Alexandra said,
there's a good thing about it?
Yes, the good thing about managing SGBV is that it can be integrated in any kind of health services. Yes,
even level 1.
Exactly, even level 1.
Exactly.
It's not
and the containers I think would be about level 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Again, it's very cost effective. If we look at it in a different way, it's very in the long term, it's very cost effective.
Because then you're not dealing with HIV, you're not dealing with pregnancy that is on one side, you're not dealing with an orphan. I hear you.
And even you make the maximum out of your health cadre as well.
Yeah, you can try to avoid long-term psychological effects and can have a very big impact on
prisons, everything. I mean, I get it. I get it. I mean, I get it. I mean,
And this brings me to the other conversation that we had with you about our reach into the schools. We've been lucky that through the county education offices, they give us letters to go to schools. But mostly the primary schools have no challenge. They allow us to go there. We present the messages on how children recognize sexual violence through use of puppets, and they are very easily accepted. As I told you before, where we have had challenges is where secondary schools. Obviously, in secondary schools, the fact that they have aligned any discussion around to hear what sex they imagine is sex education. We are not giving sex education. We are giving children tools.
Do you have a different program for the primary schools and the secondary school?
Yes, the contents are different.
The contents are
different
different because
So-
you have to look at the age factor and the exposure.
Have you
of
met
it is
the CS Amina?
I have, we are part of her advisory team.
Yeah.
But we had discussed that just in tandem when you mentioned that you're providing the sanitary towels to secondary schools, we were ready to write on that platform to come now and continue presenting the messages, because what we are giving to Madam Mina is a bit more extensive to be able to get now that one letter that can take us to all the schools. But until then, we need to be able at least to make that intervention.
The schools are opening soon.
Yes.
And when you go, do you go to a girls' school, boys' school, mixed school, every school?
Everywhere.
Okay, so what I'd like is let's identify in Embakasi Central, okay? In Embakasi Central, a secondary school that is boys, mixed, and girls. All right, let's find, anyway in Nairobi, let's find 3 secondary schools. All right, let's engage the headmasters or the headmistresses. Let's tell them, let's find out which day of the week they would like, and then we would go with them and have a look at this. What's going on. We have somebody from gender will get the county education. Let's do it through my office and see whether we will get any resistance, and then we'll know at what level I'm getting the resistance. But I don't want to start going to open a can of worms. I'd rather we just go in. So let's identify 3. I'd like to see what you do.
But it will also be interesting, I think, at the same, if most of the teachers, we know that they are not even alive to some of the things that are going on in the school, or even how to respond to that.
When you do this, how much time do you need in the school? How long is do we have all the students in one hall, and then you do it?
You do have,
okay.
You have the students in
Lumumba is the sectional head for Nairobi, so he's in charge of all the projects. But he is also the chairman of the Parents Association in Nairobi. So that also helps. But I think what's important is we can no longer be ignorant that our children are having sex. I mean, it's in all the headlines. From 15, they're having sex. So I think it's important that we actually talk to them about the things that we need to talk to them about. And I do it. I mean, I talk family planning everywhere I go. And I get challenged and I'm being asked, what about your votes? Where are you going to get your votes from? I say, I don't need you to have children just for me to get votes. I need you to have children because you want children and you're ready to have children. So that's my message on the ground.
So these 3 schools should only be.
I want a boys' school. No, I mean I want a mixed school and I want a girls' school, because I want to see the reactions from all 3, and then if we can preferably have them in 1 week. And we agree what period. How long do you need? An hour?
1 hour. 1
hour. Okay, so why don't we do this? Lumumba's going to try and identify the schools, the secondary schools, all right, and when you're doing a primary, I'd like to come as well, so that I can be there. I want to be there for at least the mixed girls, the mixed schools, to see. I want to see what is it that you're offering, and then once we've seen that, we've documented it, then we can actually go and engage the ministry if we have anybody coming up and saying, oh, this is wrong. Okay? Yeah. And don't worry, I mean, I'll find my way through for that one.
That's okay.
Yeah. So I need to be converted. Okay? So I need to come in and see what is the story. What are you telling the youth? So I'm going to come in those 3 schools and have a look.
But you say you're also interested in a primary school. That we can organize as soon as next week. Because
can you do Hospital Hill? Because I promised them I was going to visit them and I haven't done it. Hospital Hill is primary, yeah?
Primary school.
Yeah, I need to in Westlands.
In
Parklands,
Parklands,
yeah.
just in
Yeah,
Parklands.
I'd like, if you haven't done it in Hospital Hill, that's the school I'd like to go. And then I also have to go to Ngara Girls. And then there is that school where that little girl did the poem. Yes. I've got 3 schools that I need to visit, so I'd rather visit them with something important.
We also want to manage, we are not restricting ourselves, but the fact that we've been operating in Eastlands and the facilities are in Eastlands, for now I think our reach has only been within Eastlands area.
So you want to venture out?
Yes, we want to stay within at least Eastlands for now.
You don't want to venture out?
No, we would like to venture out, but suppose we go out there and somebody cannot reach our facilities, because that's part of the message that this.
But the ambulance, when you provide this ambulance service, I'm sure you don't just focus on Eastlands, do you?
We focus on all Eastlands.
So if somebody from an area outside your jurisdiction calls, what do you do?
Because the Ministry of Health and the county has also their own system there as well. But there's nothing in Eastland. That's why we, in the first place, we're
all right.
here.
So even when it comes to the school,
Yeah.
so what I'll do when we do the schools, can we, if it's working and can we borrow that for the other regions of Nairobi?
Yes.
And maybe you can give me people that you've trained who can come and do that for me, and I move with them from my office with them, and then we facilitate them wherever we go.
But we
We can see this. Yeah, because we are afraid also it will bring to us, we have a memorandum of understanding, and it limits us to Eastlands.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I will take the trained personnel, or we'll give you some personnel that we can train, and then we can do this in other areas. Yeah, without you directly.
But with the schools, we can only do the Eastlands. We have a girls' school in Kariobangi that is still okay, a girls' school. We also have a mixed school. Mixed schools are here in Kariobangi, even here in Roma. We have a Rurumo secondary mixed there, boy and girls. Then we go to Kariobangi for girls' school, Kariobangi North Girls. Are we together? Then we can choose maybe one primary school.
Yeah. Okay, so that's okay, but for me, if this is a really good thing and your jurisdiction is Eastlands, I would love to see who else is providing this service in another place, and then we can have them trained so that they can continue. Because for me, I think our children are our children. I mean, I was having a big fight with government about the fact that we only give sanitary towels to public schools. I said, excuse me, I mean the girls in community-based schools are still our girls. So in the same light, I would want everybody to benefit from the information that is crucial to keep them safe and to keep them informed.
But because of the information, I think that if we talk to the management of the school, like where mom wants to go, like Boston Hill Primary School, they have a hall. It is very important that we can even go there and talk to them.
It's in Parklands, yeah, but they want to stay within their jurisdiction. So what we will do is we will work on that. What we'll do when we go with them, we will see if we can get the other players that we have. The ladies we met, they said they want in Mathare. Yeah, so we can invite them, and then we can work with them going forward. I mean, as I said, we all need to connect the dots so that we end up winning the war.
Yeah. So we'll plan better when we...
You've got Lumumba's number?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think when... Okay, so unless there's something else anybody you want to add?
I'd love to invite you for the event on the 25th.
Yes.
So because I'd like to see your field. It's going to be in the Arboretum. It's 40 victims or survivors, all of whom are from Mathare and from Kayole. So they're within your jurisdiction. The only thing is we're going to take them to Arboretum, and I want to see what is it that... So I'll get Ruth to talk to you so that we can be part of ensuring... I want to see what is going on, because when she sent me the message, I'll forward it to you, it was like they were giving up. And when 40 people are giving up and talking suicide, I have a problem. Yeah. So that means the conversations around them is not right. We need to change that. When it comes to economic empowerment of survivors, I'd like to see where we can fit in and how we can help. Maybe one day we need to just have a few of them in the women in a place where we can then unite them into a program, a project. Yeah. or even as groups separately. Yeah. I mean, we've seen a few facilities where they make sanitary towels, reusable sanitary towels, which I think is the way to go. So we can actually train them in tailoring. We take them for training, and then we set them up into industry. So I'd be interested in if you can put together your survivors of the area, and then we find out what trades they have, and then if we can pick up 5 different projects that we can do for them, I'd love to be part of that. Yeah. So that we take it now to empowerment. Yeah.
Maybe we can go down. Now when we are down, Mama and yourself, you will be using the vehicle. Because you want to close. Because
no, I'd like to walk.
what I did not.
I'm walking.
The reason is,
I'm walking.
the reason was, as you go to that place as in Sinoston, yes, you walk around there, minute break join you. They were testing that.